I think one of my favorite quotes is a quote said by a famous American cowboy, and it was, "Courage is being scared to death, but saddling up anyway." Now, my name is Aurora Fenzel, and I'm going to tell you a horse story. It was the summer between my junior and senior year of high school, and really it was the last year of my childhood, when I got a job at Camp Shamon in Motley, Minnesota, as a summer missions wrangler to teach kids how to ride horses. And I fell in love with that job. I had so much fun, but one of the things that we would do on staff was, after all the kids had gone with their counselors after dinner and the sun started going down, we would draw names out of a hat that my boss would write up, and we would go on a night ride. So that night, I had drawn the name Evany, a black, skinny little pony, and I followed my coworkers out through the barn, through this kind of long, narrow hallway. I grabbed her halter, and I walked out the gate into darkness. I had to use the sides of my boots to feel where the track was so that I knew I was headed in the right direction of the barn, or the gate, I meant. And everybody drew a horse that either had a notable white sock, a blaze, maybe even you got lucky, you got a pinto who had lots of white on the horse, but me, I had to pull the all black horse. So that was fun, trying to find her in the dark with my hands kind of held out in front of me, trying not to, trip or walk into any unsuspecting horse flesh now. But in the end, I was able to find my horse, and I led her back to the barn. Now, I had never done anything like this ever in my life, like this crazy. But I didn't want to be the 17-year-old wuss who backed out on staff, so I went along with it. And when I saddled up Evany kind of in these like flickering yellow lights of the arena where we would tack up our horses, I checked my latigo 3 times. I was freaked out. I wanted to make sure everything in my power that I could control was perfect. But that didn't kill my anxiety. I was still royally freaked out. And I saddled up anyway. And we all kind of ambled our horses over into the middle of the arena, looking towards this wide white gate. And beyond that was this oppressively dark summer night. And it was terrifying. My friends were all, my coworkers, they were all laughing and joking around and having a good time and relaxing, but I had this immense anxiety that something could go wrong, or that I would get lost, or just something would happen, because I didn't know what that something was. And my boss swung the wide white gate open, and I asked Evany to walk forward with the rest of the horses. We fell into a trail ride line, and soon I couldn't see anything. I couldn't tell if my eyes were open or not. I couldn't hear much, but then I started to feel. I started to feel Evany's rib cage shift between my legs as her own legs would walk forward in the stride. I would feel her chest cavity expanding as she breathed and smelled the other horses around her. I put my hand on her withers, and very reassuringly, her shoulder blades pushed up into the palm of my hand as she placed her hooves onto sand, and then I heard her hooves start to walk onto the harder packed trail of the woods. I still couldn't see much of anything. But interestingly enough, my anxiety started to wane. And I was starting to put my trust into this creature who has survived in near darkness for millions of years. I mean, when you ride horses, you acknowledge that they are ancient 1,000-pound creatures that could kill you if they wanted to, but they so graciously serve us and carry us into the unknown, willingly and passionately, and I really felt that night that there was this trust between two creatures on this journey that we had to get back to somewhere. I would listen to the saddles creaking and the hoofbeats around me and the soft, warm breath of this horse into the night, and I started to feel peace. I started to feel safe. I really feel that this story and this feeling that I have is very similar to how I'm looking at the next future months in this interesting time in history. I don't know what's going to happen. A lot of us don't. We don't know if we're going to be able to keep our jobs. We don't know if we're going to be going to the same school that we thought we were going to be going to. We don't know what our families are going to look like. We don't know how we're going to do life. And it's a dark unknown that presses on all of us very heavily. But I really feel that if we can learn to listen and to feel for each other, I really do think that we can ride through the night and make it back to the barn in the end. If we just take the time to listen and feel.